Good evening, welcome to WooTube. My name is Baran Woo, and today I'm building 4 Agenda Builder of Nations, keeping that subscriber base up. Actually, I'm genuinely tempted to fill in that agenda tier list, to be honest. We could do that. We could do that like right now. I need to like pull it up in Slack. If people don't know what we're talking about, someone like did one of the tier list maker lists for like every agenda that's ever been in Netrunner. There's a lot of them. Do you think we can do it in like half an hour? There's like we have to like move pretty sharpish. Let me see if I can pull up Slack and then like I can at least get the link and we can see how ludicrously impossible that might be. Also, Shout out! I wish we were playing some ska music, Game of Droids. Ska music is like my. I grew up on ska music. Ska punk in particular. I used to play in a ska band. And yes, we're not. We're. It's a different type of music I'm referencing today, and it's got nothing to do with the deck. But yeah, shout out to Twitch who wrote "Won't Let Me Write Skank." Like I tried to write. If you're not familiar, there's a Fatboy Slim song called "The Rockefeller Skank." Right, that is where the pun for the name of this stream came from. But I tried to start a stream called RockArella Skank, and Twitch will not let me do it. Apparently, Skank throws up too many problems. Yeah. Apparently, fisting is absolutely fine. I can call a stream "Fisting is fun," no issues. Twitch is fine with that. They're all good on that front. But yeah, Skank is one step too far for them. So I hope there aren't any like ska bands on Twitch, because they're gonna run into issues. Let's get rid of all of these things. Okay, so this is, oh my gosh, is that a lot? The problem is, do I even know what all these agendas do? Because like we can't really read them, right? We can't read them here, so we're just gonna have to like sort of. I might need. How much bigger can I make these? Not big enough to read them. That could be our only problem here. Because this is also a fun game of like, what's this agenda, right? That's kind of interesting. Like, there's probably enough clues here that we can work them out, and then the really bad ones. There's a live voting thing where you can read them. How do I get to that? Oh, do I do this? Okay. Oh, but is this better? Like, surely this is slow as hell. Use this page to customize your. This is creating one. Yeah, that's not what I want to do. This is such a well thought out stream. I mean, I had seen this earlier, and I was like, oh, that would be a fun thing to do. Brother, read chat. Okay, well, I'm trying. Look. This is in rotated and banned agendas, yeah, make. And I don't know what this does to it. That is actually a really good option. I DM'd it to you. Okay, wait. Okay, so apparently this is dumb. I am instantly clicking on a link which Axie sent me without checking it first, and one day that is going to get me into a ton of trouble. So this is going to create my vote, right? We don't really want to see what other people are voting here. Can we hide that? No. But here we can probably at least see. We can see these. Do I need to move? I probably need to move chat somewhere. Yeah. So if I just move this for the time being down here. Like, that's somewhat more readable. It's still pretty small, to be fair, but I don't think I can scroll in anymore without. Yeah, we can at least see the full card. Okay, right, we can do this. There is only. Oh, that looks like a lot down there, but we can do this. We'll do like 2 minutes a card. We'll burn through this. And we can bang this out. Like, definitely. I think the link for this is in Slack, DOJA, but I can probably put this link. I'm guessing if I copy this and put it in here, that should bring it up and you should be able to see that. Okay, 15 minutes. We might have to do some adjustments later. Is like S tier. That's like easy. Above the law seems like an A tier. Seems like an ATL tier. Like these are probably quite easy. ABT. This is surely no good. Like not good. Lots of people have said this is A tier. That's bullshit. Like this was only good because it was a free 2 in purple, right? Like. Maybe back then you didn't have much money, but there's no chance that this is A tier. All these people are wrong. We're going to say it's probably C tier. Like, maybe it's better if you've got, like, Jackson and things like that. As a warning, you can't adjust later. Oh, dang. Okay, we're going in raw here. Okay, well, I'm going to say Accelerated Beta Test is a C tier card without any way of like knowing what's on top of your deck. Maybe you do know. Maybe you can like mindscaping in to score this out somehow. This is going here. Maybe like just a free 2 is good enough to be a free 2. Maybe that's wrong. I immediately want to make this a B. Okay, Advanced Concept Hopper. This is actually pretty good. Like it's not A tier. If you can score this out, like first time. What about Shutdown Combo? Yeah, well, but that's like such a niche thing. Yes, in Shutdown Combo it's good, but that's not saying that the agenda's good. It's saying that Shutdown Combo is good. Yeah? I'm talking about I'm going to take the agendas as they are. Advanced Concept Hopper probably goes C tier. This is like okay, but like as a 4-2... I think I need an E tier. I'm going to need an E tier, aren't I here? Ancestral Imager. It's a free 1 that already makes it quite bad. Whenever a runner jacks out, do 1 net damage. That seems really quite bad. I think that's going in D. What does what does this tier? Skip. We could skip it and come back. I can't even select D tier. Well, that sucks. I can only select wait, oh no, you can select a little bit of the D tier box. AR Enhanced Security. This has got to be pretty strong, right? This is one of the strongest free ones out there. So it's maybe A tier. I don't think it's S. ADT can be like really good. But it's like, you know, there's better 4-2s in several situations. If you res an Archer with this, then it's S tier. Otherwise, it's like straight B. Armed Intimidation is S tier. I'm just not accepting any argument on that. This is a win con, which not enough people play. S tier agenda. Come at me. Right, I can't read what. Oh, Armored Service. This is a fun one. I remember playing with this when I first started. So it gets an agenda counter, and then it says, for the remainder of this run, the runner must trash a card from his or her grip as an additional cost to jack out or break a subroutine. Use this ability only during a run. Actually, like, kind of gross. Unfortunately, it's only got 1 agenda counter, but if you score it in Titan, it's probably quite good. This is like Beal. Like, this was actually, I remember scoring this and it being absolutely busted. Scoring it was a problem at the time. So maybe this just goes in C, as much as it's a really good, like I'd be tempted to put this in B, genuinely tempted to put this in B. We're putting it in B. I am hyping up Armored Service. It's going. Decorum will not be had or Radish. Astroscript has to go straight into S. Like there's obviously this should be in like S plus. Like Astroscript without the errata is like in a different. It's in S plus 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 plus. No, I'm kind of just awarding them how good they are kind of now. Award bait was good in exactly one deck, right? This was good in Harp. This was good in Harp and nothing else. And was it even that good in Harp? It was like okay in Harp. I don't think it's quite D tier. I think we need to save D tier for some like pretty bad cards, so that can go there. As yes, that's a like kill piece, and it's a 3/2, and it does nonsense stuff in Ob, but like as just an agenda, I think it's probably B. A 3/2 is already quite good. Like you can kill people. Bacterial program, I'm genuinely tempted to put in S tier. Yeah, Armored Service is better than ABT. I mean, it's not. I put it in the same. They're in the same tier. Like they're right there. Like or are you saying that Armored Service is better than ABT? Because like, I mean, I might agree with that. It kind of depends on what you get off the ABT. Almost all the time. Bacterial has to go in at least A. I'm almost tempted to put it in S, but it's going to go in A. Bologna is an A tier card. It's like it's horrible and annoying and broken and but it's not. Is it S tier? I don't know. No, I think it's A tier. I don't think it's as good as as this one. As Armed Intimidation. I couldn't remember what it's called for a second there. BCP, Odd Radish, where does BCP go? You tell me, I'll put it there. This is all on Radish, this one. Up to them. Can I come back? If I go skip, can I then come back to it? I'm like unsure if I can. S tier? It's going in S tier. Bifrost Array. When you score Bifrost Array, you may trigger the when scored ability of another agenda that is not a copy of Bifrost Array in your score area. Man, that is a lot of stuff. That seems really, really tricky. You need to wait, you said S tier and then you're saying BCP is A. Oh, wrong. I think you can go back. Can I go back? How do I go back? No, it's just gone into can I pull it? No, I can't. Can't do it. Okay. It's just staying in S tier there. Bologna is banned. Yeah, Bologna is banned. Like, but I'm still someone what of the opinion that like S tier is the special cards. This card seems pretty bad. Bifrost Array is going in D tier, I think. It's not great. Blood in the Water, pretty good. Like, it's in certain decks. It's probably a B tier card because, like, at sometimes it's a 5 or even 6/2, which feels pretty bad. Brain Rewiring. This has got to be at least an A tier because this is a win con, right? That's what I'm kind of... I'm saying, like, win cons go higher up as long as they're, like, actual win cons, which you score it and you win. It could be S tier because, like, as long as you can do stuff. Oh yeah, Blood in the Water has like S tier art. Like for game mats, Blood in the Water gets pushed up like additional ones. I think Brain Rewiring. It's like, what am I going to call Re-Education? Because it's going to be the same as Brain Rewiring, I think. So are they A tier or S tier cards? I think. Oh yeah, Bologna could be counted as a win con. Bologna might be S. We'll consider it. Obviously, this BCP is up here, but that's because Odd Radish tricked me in chat. We're going to put Brain Rewiring as A tier. Fine. Brain Trust is just bad. It has text that no one knows what it does. What does it do? Place 1 agenda counter. Res cost of all ice is lower by 1. Wow, that sucks. I mean, it's a 3/2, so it could go in C tier because we put ABT in C tier. No, it's still going in D. It's still going down there. Breaking news is S tier. I don't think anyone will argue with me on that. I hope not. This is like a silly agenda. Broad Daylight is pretty cool. It was coolest when you had the old outfit deck with what's his face, the yellow card, which like destroyed cards from hand. I think this is probably B tier. Like, it can be kind of cool in the right deck. It can kill people. I'm putting it in here, and then maybe we'll build a Broad Daylight deck before this goes. CFC Excavation Contract. So this says when you score... Sorry, I should have read Broad Daylight because people won't know this card. It says when you score it from memory, because I can't read the tiny text anymore. It says when you score it, take a bad publicity, or you may take a bad publicity, I think. And then it gets a counter on it for every bad publicity that you have. So if you have 4 bad publicity, you get 4 counters. And then you can click and spend a counter, maybe once a turn, I think it's once a turn, to do 2 meat damage. Which is actually pretty good. And like, probably should be considered in some like end of the line outfit combo deck. 3/2s really can't really be D tier. I mean, I know what you're saying, but equally, like, we're not judging these so much on the numbers. I think I want to do the effect first, and then we'll see. Like, the numbers might maybe just swing it one way or the other. Crappy Vovo on a 5/2 Z tier, yeah, pretty much. CFC can be a ridiculous amount of money in exactly an AOT deck. I don't think it hits into B tier, unfortunately. So it's sitting in C. Character Assassination. When you score Character Assassination, trash 1 resource which cannot be prevented. This is not an agenda I've ever seen before. I've certainly never scored it before. Now, this is interesting. Like, this could be some weird thing to get rid of, like, a tech card that's going to stop a kill combo, but then you have to score out a 4/2 in a kill combo deck. Like, yeah, Merger is S tier, run a card. Yeah, I like that. I like that call. Hey Max, very good. Yeah, we're doing all the agendas in like less than half an hour somehow. Okay, I think this is a C tier card. I think actually this could be somewhat relevant. Although this is like way worse than Above the Law, right? Because this is a 4/2 compared to a 3/2, and it's in yellow as opposed to green. It's going in. It's going in C tier. I'm looking at the other things in C tier. It's going in C tier. It could be relevant. Kronos Product, I actually think is pretty good. This is like a really sick card if you're like playing against decks with lots of recursion. It's probably not quite A tier, although for grinder decks it's A tier. That's scary, isn't it? Yeah, BCP is no, I think based on like the other things which I've got here, BCP would be B tier, I think. But there we go. It's in S tier for now. Kronos is gonna go in. It's like if you're a grinder player, then Kronos is A tier, like kind of quite easily. Maybe it still is. But then if there's no recursion in the deck that you're playing against. So it's going to go in B tier. Fine. City Works. Actually very rude. Like super rude. The fact that it doesn't protect itself on in centrals probably just knocks it down, because otherwise I think it would easily be an A tier. If it had like if it even did the 2 meat damage, if you stole it from centrals, it would be like easily A tier. You can do some really rude things with City Works Project, but I think it's going in B. Max against Kronos in PE. That sounds disgusting. Clone Retirement. Here's an old one for you. It's a 2-1 Jinteki. When you score Clone Retirement, you may remove 1 bad publicity. But when the runner steals Clone Retirement, the court takes 1 bad publicity. Like any 2-1 is like super rude in something like PE, for instance. Removing bad publicity is kind of weird because like, what are you doing with bad publicity in red? You know, but imagine scoring one of these turn 1 against like a Val deck. Like they're playing Val, you're playing PE. You just like wheel out a Clone Retirement, and then they're playing a 50 card blank ID for the rest of the game. Very funny. I played Clone Retirement a lot in Power Shutdown PE. Yeah, I'm unsurprised. This probably goes in. It's a 2-1 in red. Like. But I'd have just said we're not really thinking of the numbers. I think this goes in C tier because I don't know if Bad Pub came from Resin Grims. That sounds correct. First sighting of Ken. Is that Ken on there? Wild. Corporate sales team. It's the off-world office of its day. It's much worse than off-world office, especially in a meta. Although it did get 10 credits on it as opposed to 7. But in a meta where you had pad tap, scoring corporate sales team felt like the worst thing in the world to ever do. But it was money on a 4-2. I think it's probably B from where we're like looking at here, so we'll stick it in there because we've got to move things on. Val demoted to Alice. Yeah, I know, and you don't even get the cool Alice ability. Corporate war. I don't know this one. This is this is a 4-2 neutral. If you have at least 7 credits when you score corporate war, gain 7 credits. Otherwise, lose all credits in your credit pool. Is this from Terminal Directive or something? Because this is terrible. I mean, like genuinely, I'm guessing this is a Terminal Directive card, which, like, obviously, you know, some of those are kind of nuts. There is nothing good about that. Oh well, corporate war. Okay, so yeah, so if you've got 7 credits, then you get another 7 credits. So it's technically off-world offers before its time, but with a massive downside. Somebody put corporate war into S tier. Oh my gosh. Maybe it's not quite D. Maybe that was incorrect. Can I go back here? Yeah. Can I? Oh, I can't move though. You can click back at them. I would like to put that into C. Because actually gaining 7 credits is probably fine. And I guess if you like go down to 0 to score this out, you're down on 0 anyway. So screw it. It's probably fine. Right. Crisis management. If the runner is tagged, crisis management gains when your turn begins do 1 meat damage. It's a grinder card. It's a free 1. It's not great, is it? 1 meat damage. Like, I guess this probably saw play in like door-to-door decks or something. Like, it's going in D for me. Cybernetic Sandbox is probably an S tier card. Like, as much as I said that S tier cards had to be like win cons, this was sometimes like a clickless 12 credits. And you get to purge, or like it's like I'm gonna click 3 times to gain like 8 credits, 12. The fact that it purges on score as well just made it so disgusting. This is either like the very top of A tier. Maybe it's going in the top of A tier. It's probably not quite good enough for this. It's like a ton of money. Dedicated neural net. This says a lot of words. The first time there is a successful run on HQ, each turn you and the runner secretly spend credits, right? Side game. Reveal, spend credits. If you and the runner spend a different number of credits, you choose which card the runner accesses from HQ for the remainder of his turn. I really loved playing this card in PE and really hoped it would land, and it never did. I thought this was a sick PE card. And I could never really get it to fire because I never had the money to fire the snare if I could even get them to access the snare. But I still think it's like good enough. I think we're probably going to go like C tier if this lets me click on C tier. Oh, there we go. Degree Mill, really annoying, like a genuinely really annoying 5-3. But it can't go in A tier because we've got like Bologna in A tier, and it's clearly not Bologna. B tier. Director Haas's Pet Project. Quite a cool card, like a really interesting. What this was one of, right? When you score Director Haas's Pet Project, you may create a new remote server by installing up to 3 cards from HQ and or archives in that server and or protecting that server. One at a time, ignoring all install costs. The fact that this does stuff from archives as well, kind of sick, but it is a free one, so it's like, why are you scoring this out? It's a one-of in the deck. It's a weird one-of, right? Why is it limit one-of? I guess it's limit one-of because you're playing a Director Haas here. But we'll stick this in C tier, I think. It's fine. How many more have we got to go? Oh, so many. We can do half this next. Domestic Trust is a sick agenda. It's an A tier card. You should play more of it. Trust me. Domestic Sleepers, kind of good in sports, kind of bad everywhere else. That can go in C. Eden Fragment is not good. It's a 5-3 and it's going in D tier. Efficiency Committee is busted and goes into A tier, possibly even S, but maybe not quite. Although, like, this can just win you the game. Like, there's so many winning combos are based around this. We'll put it in S tier. Elective Upgrade is also going into S tier because if you can score this out, you've kind of won the game. Fight me. Bifurcation is a reasonable 2-1. It's going to go in B. Eminent Domain is like bonkers. It's going straight into A tier. Encrypted Protocols is bad. It's very bad. Like, who cares about code gates, really? Escalate Vitriol. Gain a credit for each tag the runner has. Use this once per turn. Seems really bad for a 4-2. That can go straight into D. Executive Retreat. When you score Executive Retreat, place one agenda counter on it and shuffle HQ into R&D. And then you can click and an agenda counter to draw 5 cards. That seems really bad. That's a one-off thing. Other than like shuffling back agendas, that seems awful. That's going in D tier. Explode Palooza is kind of cool. I think this is going into like B tier. I was about to write an essay about elective upgrades going in S, but this is the fam who played Sable testing and voting machine initiative unironically. Yeah, exactly. Like this is it. You score this 5-3, the rest of the game is like easy. So like that's all you need to do. Sometimes you can just put your 5-3 early doors. False lead is very gross. It's like S or A. I think it's probably an A tier card. Like 2 false leads, S tier. Single false lead is A tier, so we'll put it in there for now. Fetal AI is like actually pretty disgusting. I died to a Fetal AI when I had 5 points and 1 card in hand because you take the damage before you frickin' steal it. I've also accessed a Fetal AI with only like 1 credit before and like taken the damage and not been able to steal it. But it is a 5-2, so it's really bad for scoring out. Obviously, you don't put it in decks which are planning to score it out. So it probably goes in B tier. Okay. Firmware updates, I believe, is quite bad. Place 3 agenda counters on it. And then place 1 advancement token on a piece of ice that can be advanced. Use this once per turn. It's really bad. It's going in D tier. Flower Sermon is better than people think and is a B tier card. Fly on the Wall is... I've got to consider this because this is basically the new one, but worse, right? So we've got to put it somewhere where the new one is better than it, whatever the new one's called, the new fly on the wall. So maybe this goes in C tier, so that the new one can go in B tier, because otherwise the new one has to go in A tier, which can't be correct. So for now, we're going to put this in C. Freedom of information, I think, is actually really, really sick. I'm actually going to put this in A tier. I think getting to run it to like 2 tags is not the hardest thing. And then this becomes like a 2-2. And there have been... No, not tomorrow's headline. The new free one, which will... the name will come to me shortly. The fact that you can score like 3 of these in a turn is bonkers. Like really, really bonkers. And like giving people 4 tags, not the hardest thing. I'm putting this in A tier and I'm sticking with it. Fuji asset is like B tier 5-3. It's like right up there with City Works for its strength, I think. Freedom of information on A is not legal. Well, I did it. So come at me. Genetic resequencing. Yeah, Pink Tank, that's the one. This says, it's a free one. It says, when you score genetic resequencing, you may place 1 agenda counter on an agenda in your score area. Isn't that Bifrost Array? How is this different to Bifrost Array? When you score Bifrost Array, you may trigger the when score. Okay, it is different, but like... So what's this? This is just Nisei counter number 2. Wait, was it? No, Fly is the same as Stink Tank, right? Oh no, this is when you score it. No, this is B tier. Sorry. Oh, I can't move it. I can't move it. I want to move it. I thought this was the other one. I thought this was too big. TBY, that one. Yeah, TGTBT. Bollocks. That's just wrong. Yeah, this is like at least a B tier card then. Okay. We were looking at genetic resequencing. So the big question here, I can't click back on it, so that's a problem. Oh, can I move it now? No. Let me go back to where I was. I can't go back. That's a problem. Let's go here. Oh, okay, right, fine. This is like just get another Nisei counter, which feels pretty bad because I don't know what else there is in red that gets agenda counters. So this is going straight into D tier. Geothermal fracking. Place agenda counters on 2 agenda counters and gain 7 and take 1 bad pub. Seems kind of sick in the outfit as a 4-2, but there's better things to score in the outfit, right? As a 4-2. But that's like 10 credits twice. You can do it twice in 1 turn. In the outfit, that actually seems kind of funny. Like you click twice for 20 credits. In anything else, is it any good? Probably not. But it's still like a lot of money. What do you do with all that money? I'm going to put it in C tier. I think that's like potentially got a thing. Global food has to go in S tier because it just messes up so many like agenda suites. Gear hands, here's like the way you used to make money. It's not bad. Like in, I don't know, a PE deck or something, like old school PE, this is how you used to make money in old school PE, right? You double click this, take another credit, and then you can afford another snare. I think it's going in C. It's not like perfectly useless. Glen Station has some like dumb things that you can do with it, and somewhat has to be respected. It's going to go into B tier mainly because of its kind of combo with this card, Government Takeover, where you can just put the Government Takeover on the Glen Station, and then they can like probably not win. Okay, Government Takeover is a what? Like, I'm tempted to say it's an A tier card. The tricky thing here is, like, I did say, like we wouldn't necessarily consider the numbers, like the scoring numbers, but this is obviously like a very different situation. This allowed for like some of the dumbest decks in history. It's also got a really, like, if you've ever scored this out and haven't won the game, the fact that you can then click for free credits is like kind of sick. Like, it even has, I mean, it's funny that it has an ability, because obviously, like, if you're scoring this out and you haven't won, what's going on? Yeah, for a while you could advance the cards hosted on the Glen Station, right? Yeah, it's like this weird, this like really, hey, how you doing, Antoine, by the way? This is in this really weird position where it's kind of an S tier card, it's kind of a D tier card. We're going to stick it in A tier. I think it deserves that respect. Government Contracts, 2 clicks, gain 4 for a 5/3. When this is like, this, how can you be worse than Gillihan's? Wow. That's going in D tier. Okay, Graft is actually kind of cool. When you score Graft, you may search your deck for up to 3 cards, reveal them, and add them to HQ, shuffle R&D. Kind of cool. Like, really cool in like a Neurospike deck. If you were doing like throwback Neurospike, you know, like you just score this with 2 clicks left, search for 2 copies of Neurospike, and hit him with a double Neurospike. Done. And for that reason, it's going in B tier. Government Contract was hard carrying my OG Netrunner draft deck. Wow. I mean, yeah, click twice for 4 credits. Let's go. Helium-free deposits. When you score helium-free deposits, place up to 2 power counters on a card with at least 1 power counter on it. Now, there's probably some more disgusting things that you can do with this now. But what are you putting power counters on? Like, I genuinely don't know. And for 4/2, like, as a 4/2, there's got to be some, like, is Keeling like power counters? Or is Keeling something else? Like, could you score this and suddenly, yeah, that's power counters. So, like, I don't know, you like score out Keeling. Whoops, you don't score out Keeling, but you like score this out in a Keeling, I don't know, Builder of Nations deck to make Axu happy or something like that. Yeah, nothing at the time, but we're not just thinking about it like exactly at the time. I'm trying to work out if I can think of anything else on the corp side which has got like really good power counters. And the only things that I can think of are like Lakshmi Smart Fabrics, which is kind of quite easy. Oh, Slee! Now we're talking. Yeah. That's power counters, although it's like only 2, right? So you need to already have 3 power counters on there, and you possibly need another 5, because it's kind of hard to kill with Slee sometimes. But, you know, that's a cool use of power counters. Yeah. Genuinely don't know. I can't think of anything other than Keeling, which is like super broken with it. So I think it's... I'm hesitant to put it in D, but it's going in D. Hades Fragment is actually really, really good. This is going in A tier. The addition of Hades Fragment into our IG deck when we were doing the scoring IG was what like turned it into an absolute monster. High risk investment. Um, kind of cool. Place one agenda count on a high risk investment when you score it, and then click hosted agenda counter. Gain one for each credit in the runner's credit pool. Like a really good agenda if you're a punitive deck, because if you score one of these out, then you can always like double the runner's money. So you should always be able to like pretty much at least punitive them once, right? But it is a 5/3 and it's only a one-time thing. And if the runner doesn't have any money, then this doesn't do anything. So we're going B tier for now. I think it's better than C tier. Hollywood Renovation was good in SSL, but maybe because it was another public agenda. The funnest in Titan, what, this one, are you saying that Helium 3 was? Because this couldn't add Atlas counters, could it? I don't think so. Or was this the funnest in Titan? Because you get 2 of them. Oh yeah. Okay, that's fair. If you can score one of these out in Titan, then yeah, I could see that. Like, click this twice for like 10 gajillion credits. Right, where do we get to? We're doing really badly on our we're gonna do this in half an hour, by the way. This is the worst of the public agendas, maybe. So, yeah, high risk. I got it. C tier, fine. We can do this. Hostile Takeover is really good. It's an A tier card. It always will be. It's very, very fun. House of Knives is kind of disgusting. And it's an A tier card. Hybrid Release is better than people. Like, this should be seeing more play, and it's just not because there's other agendas which are taking up people's time. But there's a lot of stupid things that you can do with Hybrid Release. But I'm going to put it in B tier for now. Hyperloop is great in sports. But I think it is great in there. So it might be B tier. Because it's kind of a ton of money there. Ikawa Project, I think, is A tier. I think this is, in some ways, as good as Bologna. In some ways, it's better than Bologna. But runners sometimes, you just can't stop them having money. You can stop them having clicks. Most of the time. Some of the time. Illicit Sales is a free one that says, when you score illicit sales, you may take 1 bad publicity, gain 3 for each bad publicity that you have. I massively disagree with you on that, actually. This seems kind of crazy in outfit, but if you've got all of your hostiles in outfit already and you're playing profiteering in outfit or something like that, suggests that where are you finding slots for this? I mean, there's so many agendas here which deal with bad pub. That's going in C tier because I can't bother to think about it too much. Fix says the fact. Actually, I was disagreeing with you saying Akura is C at max. It's definitely not. Fix is saying that the fact that I have more A tier than C tier cards makes me think you're someone who could like building chunk decks. Yeah, maybe. I also like agendas, is the difference. Improved protein source is a bad agenda, but it was a 4/3, but it's bad. It's not quite D tier because it's a 4/3, which is kind of nuts. Improved Tracers Improved Tracers was a bad one, right? This is pretty bad, although it did make decks with IP block really disgusting. This is probably just C tier. It does something. Humon is great. It's an A tier card. No arguments there. Kimberlite Field is also really disgusting and is going in A tier. This can trash anything. Kingmaking is better than it first seemed, but is a solid. It's probably C tier still. I'm looking at the cards in B tier. They're better than it, so it's going to C. Labyrinthine Servers had a really disgusting kill combo, so that has to go in at least B. I think the fact that it's quite hard to score, but like it did just mean like if you scored it, you kind of won the game, right? In the like one deck it was in, so maybe it should be in. We'll stick it in B. I need to stop thinking about this. How much more have I got left? Enough to consider coming back to this. I rated Kingmaking highly on day one. That's wild. License Acquisition I actually think is really good. I'm going to put it in B tier. Lightning Laboratory has not shown itself to be good yet. So, and I like it might even be D as much as I can't put it in D tier. It's going in C. Longevity Serum is the worst of the 3-2s. Everyone knows that. It can go in C tier. Luminal goes in S, right? If Luminal didn't have the limit 1 per deck, it would be S easily. Yeah, it's going straight in S. I can keep it open and play a game and come back. All right, I'll do that. Midnight Free, we'll just rank this one. I can't be bothered to read mandatory seed replacements, so we should play a game. We gave ourselves at least half an hour to do that. I think we might have been 40 minutes. Anyway, this is what we're going to play today. Basically, I had this thought because I was listening to someone talking about Ag Infusion. I think it was either Soccer. I think it might have actually just been Andre. I can't remember. Someone basically said, no, I feel like it might have been Soccer at some point. But it's been something that's been going around in my head, which is that you should always be trying to get a Lacosta like advancement every single turn. Right? That is like if you're playing Lacosta and Charlotte and all that stuff in Ag Infusion, you should be trying to get your Lacosta trigger every single turn. Like you should always have something in the server because that Lacosta trigger is worth so much. Like this is worth a credit and a click. So to try and keep that going, you want to always get it if you have a Lacosta res. Lost Geek is apparently might have wrote something on that. I can't remember the where it came from, but obviously the one turn that's hardest to do this on is after you like score out a 4-2 because you possibly jammed the 4-2. Now you might have installed advanced, fine, but you very possibly went sort of install, add an ice, something along those lines, take some money, and then that means that you're going to be going like a whole turn with a sort of HQ building up, probably agendas. Like Ag Infusion is pretty good at flooding up in HQ, and also without something like getting that Lacosta. So basically, I was like, well, we just put Arella Salvatore in here, and we'll try and like. This is like a bit more of a rush deck, essentially, even though we are in Ag Infusion. So we've got some pretty expensive ice going on. We've got Anansi's, we've got Brands. But because this is a bit more rushy, I've gone for Enigmas. Just so that we've got like a lot more things which we feel kind of comfortable. Like all of these ice, I'm pretty comfortable jamming Rashida or something behind like turn 1. Which is a lot more ice than in some others. Obviously, like Fimbulrig is my other usual choice, but I'm a bit off Fimbulrig just currently, and we don't have like. I'm not too interested in moving this ice around so much. Cactusclav, yeah, I'm sorry. This is like somewhat vanilla, right? What we could do to make it less vanilla, and what we might do with the second one, is if we feel like we have a ton of money, we can swap these. If not, we'll swap the Niseis and we'll put in TPRs and then see if we can make it like a bit more wild. Because I did enjoy the timely public releases a lot last week. But this is like my initial draft of like we're just gonna try and go really, really fast, which is why I've gone for like off-worlds, because I think like speed is an important thing. I also was considering playing Biovolt instead of Void, but again, we're like trying to go pretty fast, and actually I think Void is better for that. Because we kind of don't necessarily have enough clicks to, like, as much as we can get the Arella trigger on the Biovolts, which is cool. They're not like fully charged that turn, so if the runner runs the remote that turn, not very good. Oh, don't click on that link. I will try and ban that bot. However I do that. Fix there. Yeah, no snares, I'm afraid. No snares in that one at all. Let's see if I can do this. I might not be able to. Da, 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 da. Oh, no time. I've got a game. Cool. Okay. Oh, we're against Essa. This is a bad opening hand. So Essa can be good. It can be bad. Here we've got a potential really aggressive opening of just jamming the Rashida behind an Anansi and playing a hedge fund. We could also jam it behind a Bran, but Bran is really bad into Essa. So like essentially I probably want to use this Bran just to protect HQ. So the other thing we could do is like play it slightly slower and go for like hedge funds, ice. Or we draw one. We play hedge fund and then we put on the Bran on HQ just to like bounce a Shishishka run. That might be fine. Vampy's like pretty nice as well. I think we want to be able to like not get Shishka like turn one. So this will just go here. We're probably never going to res this Bran. We will find out. But it's like the worst ice against Essa. And then next turn, like ideally we want this Anansi on the outside. So if we find a Tattoo Bowler, that would be lovely. We'd love to go like Rashida, Tattoo Bowler, Anansi on the outside. If not, maybe just putting it behind the Vampy is fine. Like I wonder if the Vampy firing is better than the Anansi. Checking out an Ashen. Wait, what happened? Oh, they trashed a Lacosta. That's great for us because we've got another one in hand. Okay, I don't think we can play this Hands Eye Review, which is a problem. Especially as we can't trash this Lacosta anymore. So it's actually maybe a shame that they trashed the Lacosta. So we'll just put this behind the Vampire and Nessa and we'll gain a credit. If they sabotage us, yeah. We probably get rid of this Hands Eye Review. Oh, and a spin. Bad times. But the Hands Eyes feel like pretty awkward in a deck where we're already losing cards from HQ. Mystic comes down. And they must have no, they didn't discard a card because they didn't need to. Okay, we draw up. That is a hand. Oh, dang, that's a hand. Okay, so we might. So let's get these two in here. And then we either just protect R&D or we go second ice. Probably the Tattoo Bowler goes on there. Bran worse against Essa than Tyrant confirmed. I can't remember what Tyrant does. Okay, so we could res this Vampy. I think that's a bad idea. I think we just want to stop this run. So we'll res the Tattoo. Here I'm really tempted to discard one Bacterial. No, two from the top. Well, we lost an off-world. That's a shame. Okay, we probably have to just start cooking this one and then crediting up. Tyrant, the second worst ice in the game. Oh, was Tyrant the one that you could only... You know what? We might ice Archives. Was Tyrant the one that you could only advance when you were when it was face up? Because that was very bad. Ah, do we ice Archives here? I kind of want to ice Archives with an end of run is the problem. Like, I think I want to get this Sai Sentan out somewhere. So it might just be like Sai Sentan, R&D, take 2 credits. The problem is if they run HQ, we're not resin. So maybe it's Sai Sentan HQ. No, it's going to be Sai Sentan R&D, take 2 credits. I need to keep at least one ice in hand in case they run through this tattoo. At least the Nisei is like going to be good versus a variety of things really. Chishishkas and finalities, and hopefully will help us score out one of these other Bacterials. It was the big barrier, 4 strength. Wow. 7 cost 4 strength. Yeah, and it came in with 0 subs, right? Ooh, they're playing a retrieval run to get... Oh, they're an Orca! Oh, wow, we're boned! Wow, this Sai Sentan suddenly seems really bad for us. At least we've got Vampirinassa here. We have to put the Void on server 1 and hope that Vampirinassa fires a lot. Oh, that's quite bad for us. Right, well, the Anansi's now also a bad card. Like, if they get down Orca and Bran, then I genuinely... Or Orca and... whatchamacallit. Then that's going to be awful for us. Okay, this is going in server 1 and we're taking 2 credits. Yeah, the combination of Orca and Bergamot. Oh, what are you trashing? This is fine if they... Yeah, well, that's not fine. Okay. We could have stopped that by icing Archives, and we didn't. Here comes the Shishishka. Which we can stop. So I think we actually res this brand. As much as I said we're never gonna res this brand. Like here, they can't click through it, and we can still put the Anansi on HQ and then boot them if it really comes to it. But otherwise, they just run back, and we are doomed. So here we probably just have to boot them. Otherwise we shouldn't have resed the Bran. But, well, no, we have a resed Bran. I just wish we'd got that ice from the bin. We'll just boop here. Unfortunately not into anything fun. Orca also suggests that they might be on hippocampic mechanocytes, which is worrying. Okay, we no longer have an ice to swap with this tattoo bowler. We have another void, but we cannot fire that void for any reason right now. So here we have to like install the offworld and hope. So we'll do advanced score. Yeah, we have to track something. It might actually be the void, you know. No, it can't be right. We lost a brand, that's fine. We just gotta hope that we actually get this off-world and that will get us back up in money. We can res this Scythentan if we want, but it's a terrible idea too. Also, can you all see my cursor now? I think I've changed my settings since last week. So my cursor should be like visible. Get a code gate for archives to stop another retrieval. Oh no, we do have enigmas actually. But I assume that they're going to be on Buzzsaw as well. They'll be on like Orca plus Begamot plus Buzzsaw, which seems like it's like essentially the only ice we have which will be taxing to them in any way is going to be this Vampirinassa. Okay, can we afford to keep this void? The other thing is, do we just feed them a single bacterial? Seems a bit risky. I think we have to hold cards in hand. Okay, we lost an Enigma, which is bad. But at least we now have more ice in archives, which we can pull out with this. Okay, they are threatening to challenge the server next turn. Hopefully we draw an ice. Please draw an ice. We did not draw an ice. We'd love an Arella here. That would be great. That would be good. But here we just have to score and trash a card. Is it one from the top? Sure. It was a Rashida. Yeah. Orca Begamot could be a problem. At least we have a Vampire. Okay, so the Vampirinassa could be our only saving grace here. We're going to trash two from the top. We lost another off-world. They break this for 1 credit. Luckily, with 2 bacterials in hand, we should be able to afford to rip from the top. If we rip from the hand, then they just run back twice. I think they'd run back twice anyway. We lost another Spin Doctor. There's 6 points in the bin, or there's 4 more points in the bin. So next turn it's install bacterial, install anoetic, and then possibly advance once. Because we have to win like next turn, or we are doomed. If we draw seamless. Okay, Vampirinassa is the only other piece of ice which has any effect on anything right now. So at least that's going to get swapped in here when they run through this Tattoo Bowler. But I don't think... maybe we can afford to res the second one, you know. I think it has to be install, advance, and then probably install the Anoetic, but I've just got to work out the maths. So if we're assuming that the Vampirinassa fires, then we get paid to do... We get paid enough to do Void each time. Which is interesting. Oh, hello. Something's happened. Oh, this seems to be okay. What's going on? Okay. Apologies. Hopefully everything's still working. Evening, Podrick. It has to be install advance, and then it's either install the void Otherwise, what happens? They run through the Vampirinassa and lose. Oh yeah, cheers. They run through the Vampirinassa and take 2 damage. And then they run through the Vampirinassa again and take 2 damage. And then we lose. So it's install, advance, install, and void. And we can just... Well, we'll have enough credits because of the Tattoo Bowler to res the Vampy. I think. They're calling R&D. That is fine. If they finality us, we'll boop them. We won't boop this because this is them like trying to force out a Ag Infusion. Okay. We like might. I don't know if we'll have enough money to score is the like real big thing. So this fires. We will gain 4. We will res a Vampy. Which fires. Hopefully doesn't hit Steel Skin. We will draw 2. It means that R&D is now like... We know that the top of R&D is safe, but we have to draw 2 here, I think. Oh, it's 2 Enigmas. Hilarious. So now we continue thinking. We're somewhat safe to Chishushka. So I think we use the Nisei here. If we use the Void... No, we can use the Void and then we can... I think this is fine. If they play Running Hot, then we're like a bit boned. We'll get rid of Charlotte and we'll get rid of an Enigma from HQ. Yeah, I think Void is correct there because now whatever they do, we use a Nisei counter, and we've got a boop still. So here we've just got a miss on the. What's the chance that they've got a Running Hot in hand? Because I wonder whether we Nisei. No, we don't Nisei because it's the same chances, right? We're after Running Hot either way, yeah, possibly. And here we just use this. I mean, we have other options there, but we just squeak past. Woo! Terrifying. We would have lost to a finality if one had snuck through. Luckily, it's really lucky that we have Vampirinassa here. Like, I nearly pushed behind the Anansi. If we push behind the Anansi instead of a Vampy, we're boned. Vampy is the only piece of ice that, like... I guess Enigma would have been better. Right? Kind of. Like, they lose a click. Yeah, Enigma would have been kind of fine. They can't play Running Hot there. They die to core. True. Absolutely true. Yes. Here's the answer to that. I forget that you get the draw after you've done the draw after core, you know? It's like the old bros. No, I'm not going to say it. This is a horrible saying. I'm not going to say it. Roderick, you missed out on us trying to tier list all of the agendas in half an hour, which did not work out well. I think we did about 45 minutes and we got halfway through them. But I'm sure you'd have some opinions. Oh, we've got Alpi. We're going to get wrecked. So Alpi probably like... Oh, Zhaya. I was going to say is probably playing Lat. We've got 2 tattoos in hand. So I might keep this. There are so many of them. We could take a chance on Zhaya not having Diversion of Funds. And thus play like Charlotte Advanced Tattoo. What's the chances? I think we're keeping this no matter what. Single off-world. Like, I quite like scoring off-world against Crimson. Snap keep. Yeah, seems like it. Oh, that's tempting, isn't it? Okay, so I'm actually like, I'm so tempted to push this off-world. We can't quite do it this turn. So maybe here we just do like hedge fund, tattoo bowler on HQ, so we can draw once first. Triple tattoo, disgusting. And then next time we jam 3 of these, and it might well be the off-world, and we try and get to like 2 points before Alpi like gets a Hermes down. As disappointing as it will be to score this without getting an Arella in the remote. Saisentan is cool. So do we want to play this like slightly safer? Slightly safer would be like tattoo on R&D. I really want I want to get moving here, so I think we go boom. Whoops. Boom, boom. This feels fine. Like next turn we'll get this Saisentan somewhere. Also, they're probably respecting Saisentan. I think Alpi just saw the Saisentan. Yeah, so this is like Saisentan respect. We can just res the tattoo here. Checking R&D, gets the Zhaya credit, etc, etc. We lose a void, which is a shame. Oh, whoops. Oops. Yeah. Yeah, that's the easy way to do it. La Costa, Charlotte. Okay, Nisei's quite good. We probably want the Bran on the server rather than the Saisentan, considering they have gun. We might want to put ice everywhere to avoid... I think we can do Bran here. We can do Saisentan on R&D. This is a bit risky, actually, with so many agendas in hand. And then we might advance for Charlotte. We can still res... No, we just take credit. Now we can still res the tattoo and the Bran. I don't think we're too interested in resing this Saisentan right now. That's a thing. Okay, Anansi seem bad right now with a revolver down. The Vampiric Acid might again be our only like hope. So we won't discard the Saisentan, but it's going to the bottom of the stack for sure. I want the Vampira Nasa in hand. And I think I want the Spin Doctor in hand. Maybe discarding the Sai Sentan was fine, because then we've got something in archives for the brand like sub. No, we just do this tattoo, I guess. I kind of feel like we might also want to do like spin and hand's eye review in hand, and then next turn like hand's eye one of these agendas, spin it back, etc. Rashida seems bad right now. Or maybe do we want to score these? I will just put the... I'm actually going to put the Sai Sentan in the hand's eye review, and I'm going to hand's eye review the Sai Sentan. Okay, fine. We're actually going to have way too many cards in hand now, but that's okay. And then we'll just put the Rashida at the bottom, because we've got this one ticking away. And then we will do a Nancy, Spin Doctor, and Nancy. So we draw. So there's a Nancy on the top. And we will draw... the spin. So the other thing to do here would be to just pump the Charlotte but not draw. No, I think this is fine. We will draw. So we'll do La Costa on the Charlotte and we'll draw, and then we'll discard the Sai Sentan. Okay, we're good on credits now. We want to get a piece of ice on archives, I feel. This tattoo on HQ feels a bit suspect right now. Where's the Vampira Nasa going is the big question. R&D is safe right now, I think. So I think the Anansi goes on HQ. And then for Tattoo Bola... And then I'm just going to advance. I'm going to advance the Charlotte because I think we're going to push next turn. We're probably going to install advance as well. Okay, this is going on the Anansi, which will fire here. Wild. I'm not mistaken, right? Sure. I mean, I do get the run because we do look like we're going to jam next turn. And I guess, like, Alpi has a ton of stuff in hand. Right, what do we want to do with this hand? I think we kind of want this Enigma. Whether we want to draw it, we probably do. So the bacterial programming we want, like, at the bottom, below 2 Rashidas, which feels a little suspect. And then we'll do Anansi into Enigma. I actually want the Anansi... I want, like, Rashida. I want the Anansi, like, before the back pro. Just so that Alpi can't just run R&D, trash 2 Rashidas, steal a bacterial. So we're actually going to do back pro, Anansi, Rashida, Enigma. Done. And then we'll draw the Enigma. So that if Alpi continues... Okay, he was on Doof. He's also on Joyride. That's fun. We lost 2 Doofs there. Continue. Okay, thinking. We can afford to res... Oh, it's just a tattoo. I thought it was a brand. So that's fine, although we then can't res this brand. We could if we fire the Charlotte. Does it die to anything there? Like, no, it doesn't die to second Anansi and can break a Sai Sentan. We were good on money, we're not anymore. So that's a problem. Arella, yeah, we're on like 2 Arella, although we haven't seen any yet. So we'll do the Lacosta grid on the Charlotte. Right, so now we draw our Rashidas, which means next turn we're drawing our bacterial if we fire the Charlotte. Do we want to, like, the Enigma seems really good for the remote right now. I think I need to jam something at this point. So it might be pop the Charlotte, install off-world, install Enigma. It's not a ton of money though, is it? Either that or we like overdraw and discard a bit. Or we put a Rashida in there. Doesn't seem great. Interesting. So this puts us up to like some credits. I'm just going to go for it. But we do probably need this Enigma. And then we can take a credit or we can advance. If we advance, we'll have exactly 9 credits. We can technically res all of this ice. And then we can always jam next turn. And the whole point is that we should be always having something in the remote, right? So we should advance. We'll get the money back. This also helps just in case Alpi pinholes the Lacosta, which I think is a pretty fair play to do right now. I guess the problem is, though, that we need to draw... We're going to draw the Anansi. That means that the bacteria will be on the top of R&D next turn. Kind of scary. Okay. Turtle going to be good at breaking a variety of things. So, are we scoring here, or are we like drawing the bacterial with the Spin Doctor? Icing R&D. Icing R&D, probably just with the tattoo. I think we have to draw this bacterial so that we can discard it. We'll put this on archives. And then we'll gain a credit so that we can discard the bacterial. As much as I'd actually be quite interested in scoring this bacterial second. If Albi runs archives and we res the Tattoo Bowler, hopefully he breaks it and we get some money for it. We'll just put... We might put the Anansi there. Don't we want to score back pro? Yeah, very possibly. Okay. We can still res both of these. But Alpi can break the Bran. Do we just boop? Oh, we just boop into HQ here, right? We boop into HQ. Because then he has to inside job this Anansi. Otherwise, what are we doing? We can res the Enigma and boop with the Bran. Or we can just let him through. We don't res... what's better, the Enigma or the Bran? We can afford to res the Enigma here. If Alpi runs back, he hits the Bran, we res the Bran, we can then reinstall the Enigma if he can't break it, which I don't think he can. Yeah, I think the HQ boop is correct here. Cat's Cradle, Deep Dive, and Amaku are gone. Also, if he wants his counter here, we're going to get a credit. Yeah. I kind of wish I still had this tattoo, but that's fine. Yes, please. Now, what are we putting here? Is it the second Anansi? Is it the second Anansi? It's probably Vampiranassa at this point. Charlotte probably gets trashed, doesn't get trashed. So could we go for deep dive here? Can we stop a deep dive? Not on your Nelly. So here we have to res the brand. Stop. Okay, draws first. Yeah, probably wise. Now runs. Now definitely can't get through this brand. Can get through the tattoo, so we'll just res the brand. Okay. Right. So here we can go score the off-world. We kind of fairly obviously score the off-world. Like, the really greedy thing is we draw one card in case we get an Arella. But I think that's incorrect. So I think we go score off-world, and then we install either Rashida or the Charlotte, and then we put a second piece of ice on the server. Which is either like a tattoo, so that whatever happens, we just get a ton of money. Or we put the Enigma. I think it might be the second tattoo. We'll be at 14. What do we want to stick more here? The Charlotte or the Rashida? That's interesting. Enigma unfortunately doesn't keep Alpi out because of the 2 strength turtle, which we will purge if he runs this turn. And I think I want to put the tattoo there. If we still had the Vampy, we might put the Vampy here. Nisei. Everyone's calling the Nisei. Really? We can't keep Alpi out here. I'm going to feel really foolish if Alpi doesn't run. He doesn't run. Okay. Nisei was correct. Also, Rashida might have been better than the Charlotte. I think we just purge and we let this Charlotte get a counter and we don't draw. I'm not even going to show it. The Enigma would now be better than the tattoo. Slightly. Yeah, they would think it's the Charlotte, but I kind of thought that would be a reason to run it, like first click, and force us to spend money. Like now we can do... Okay, this is potentially good for them. Is this better to boot? No, we just want to like use up some revolver credits, some revolver counters here, right? We can put the Saisentan there next turn. Not the Saisentan. I mean the Enigma. They'll be able to break an Enigma. Dang. I see a card. I think it looks like they're considering trashing it. Nisei would have been super safe. And scored by now. So you were all right. We're going to do Lacosta on here, and we'll do this. Ooh, Seamless is not. So they saw a spin and didn't trash a spin. We can jam the Nisei here, right? I wish we had a void. How do they get through this? They could run first click, but we can boop. Then if they run back, we get a... This fires, and we can get an Enigma, which is not quite good enough for us. We do have what? No, we don't have a Mavirus in this deck. That's a shame. So I think we also have to get the Enigma on here, like this turn. So we do this. We get the Nisei in the server. Wait, what happens if they just run through this Saisentan? 1, 2, 3. They need to run twice, and then they could challenge the server. But our Enigma doesn't really keep them out anyway. So I think this goes on to server 1 and we take a credit. We can res these, so that's good. It's cheap. Bravado in Saisentan seems fine. No Hermes, so no bounce, which is good for us. Needs to run this click if Alpi's going to challenge. There's a good chance that we shuffle back the back pro, so we might draw into it next turn, and if we do, then we can like seamless out this Nisei. Maybe it's safest in R&D right now. We can always just jam the Rashida, is like fine. Okay, so we either score or we seamless score jam Rashida. I like seamless score jam Rashida myself. Like if Alpi does run through this server, we gain like a ton of money. And we'll probably shuffle back the seamless at the start of next turn. Like we'll shuffle back the seamless. Oh, there's another void gone. No. Oh, we kind of want the void. Okay. Sure. Okay, the other option is that we just purge next turn. We might have to purge. Like here we don't res the Enigma. But we do res the tattoos. Yeah, I need to get... Thing is, I need to get this Anansi on R&D, but now I'm not going to have access to it anymore. Because it's gonna flip out. It's gonna get swapped out with this tattoo. But at least this run gets us a ton of money. Alpi uses leech counters, which is not nothing here. This tattoo gets swapped with the other tattoo, always kind of disgusting. We lose our Rashida. Fine. Alpi probably can't afford to trash this Lacosta. We've got a second one if they do. We might need the Void now. Oh, we have a Nisei. So maybe we don't need the Void. So here, it's either shuffle back the Seamless and a Bacterial, or a Void and the Bacterial. I guess it's probably Void and Bacterial. And then we can always start with a Spin Doctor draw. Choose a card, this one here. Okay. So install Advance. If they break this, they can break this. They technically can't break this. I think just install Advance is probably fine. The other option is we do spin first, but then the only thing that we find is... So we do install Advance. There's no real point in shoring up R&D. Alpi has to make at least 2 runs. Get to 4, then to 6, and then we can boop and Nisei. So I think the serve is actually pretty safe. The big question is, do we need more money? He does have Doofs. We have a Vampira Nasa here. Server's quite cheap. Server is quite cheap for us to res, as in, like, we might, whether we res this Anansi or not, we probably don't res the Anansi. So we might just Hanzai. I think I Hanzai here, because I want the most. I want to not lose to, like, Cheeky Doof. Although I guess we probably don't lose to Cheeky Doof. Here we'll res a Tattoo, see if we get a Tattoo flip. Probably didn't need that money so much. Jailbreak. Nice. Are we getting deep dived? Maybe. See a Bacterial first. Go on, because then we're, like, totally safe. Uh-oh. Less safe now. Dangerously unsafe. But we did deep dive turn. I think we're safe to deep dive turns. It does look like a deep dive turn, but we've got a boop and a Nisei counter. And Alpi doesn't have any way of, well, but they're showing of getting like a ton of clicks. Has to run the remote this turn if they want to. This is fine. There's actually a chance that we res the Vampira Nasa here. And then we Nisei them. We still have a boop. If they run HQ, do you boop? Like, the Vampira Nasa here costs them at least 1 credit. They probably lose cards from hand. We could draw. We don't actually want to draw. But it costs them money. It costs them at least 1, and then we boop them, and then they can't go anywhere, I don't think. I don't want to give it away yet. Otherwise, I'd say, yeah, probably. But you do get into that situation with Imagine if Archives Run was a pinhole. Well, that's why we're like they could pinhole the Lacosta, but they need like money to do this. We do have to boot them here. Oh, we might not have to boot them here. Although, do I risk it? We'll do fire all. We're gonna draw 0 because we know that the top is safe. We will play this here because we can. We're still safe to pinhole. We're still safe to remote. This also might make them like take a wild run at HQ. They technically can't. They can't afford it. If they have more leech counters, then they actually could let just all of this fire. They could break the Anansi for like free. Leech plus revolver is kind of disgusting at times. They are taking the wild poke. Fire all. Top was like really safe as well. Oh, so here they can just break the damage. We get there. No, Arella's drawn. Why does this happen? Where are all our Arellas? Down here. Right. This time we're gonna find a sodding Arella. Like, do we had like decent money there? So can we like the Nisei was probably better than a send a message. Than a TPR in that one. It's like, can we swap the off-world offices for a TPR? I think the answer is kind of no, unfortunately. As much as I really want to. Yeah, this is why, like, so if we go to our absolutely, oh yeah, oh no, I might need to refresh it. Rubbish. Oh, we're playing against Knife Dog. Knife Dog was, oops. Whoops. I selected the wrong side. Mind if I switch to Corp? Yeah, is that okay? Cool. Okay. Yeah, I put back pro as like, I think it was at least A tier. Like, have fun. This is not an A tier hand. Oh, that's much better. We're against Hoshiko, so ice destruction is a problem. Luckily, we're running like a bit more ice and a bit cheaper ice. Okay, do we go install advance behind a tattoo? I kind of think we do. We then can't... No, because we then can't afford to score the tattoo, right? So let's do Spin Doctor. Okay, that's fine. We found our Arella. Hooray! We'll get rid of the bacterial for now, and then we'll put the Vampirinasa on HQ. I'm kind of tempted to just put the Arella out in a server, as much as I don't want to lose her, but and then next turn go install advance tattoo with the off-world. But I don't want to lose the off-world from HQ either. They play Boomerang. Well, that's naughty for me to know. Money and free ice, yeah. They have Bankar as well. And they have Miss Bone, so I'm really glad we didn't just put the Arella out like and lose it immediately. So here we need to go like Tattoo Bola and a Nancy in front of it. Now, unfortunately, our HQ is going to be a bit weak next turn, and we need the money to res the Nancy and the Tattoo. Did they not steal that? What did they do? Did they? Oh, they trashed a Rashida. Okay. HQ is a problem, so we have to draw here. Hopefully we draw a Hand's Eye and we can just like delete one of these. That's actually quite bad. So, wow, what do we do here? I think we put this in a new remote and we take a credit. We need 8, 9, 10. We need to be able to res both the Anansi and the tattoo. And if they get down a... Plus, they're probably going to challenge this Vampire Nasa this turn. And Nancy's like really good with Bankar. Here, do we res is the problem. Like, no, but we're going to lose something good. Okay, that's actually... Well, because they had no credits, like, one of these other things would have been fine. The problem is they can just go back again, and they should go back again. Cleaver, oh man, we are boned. I guess we can do, like, boop. Okay, second tattoo. We, like, have to get... We have to pull him through this Anansi like a ton. But they also don't have any credits, so like they need at least a credit to break the tattoo bowler, which is something. So we don't have to boof it. But did we miss lethal? Did they only have 3 cards in hand? Shut up. Are you serious? One might have been a steel skin. Do we feed him a back row? I can't let him get to 5 points this early. Right, one time top deck seamless. Let's go. Top deck seamless. There's one in the deck. I'm sure I think he had 4 cards in it. And this was a Vampire Nasa. Right, one time top deck seamless, and we'll feel like an absolute G. Yeah. So it's gain 2 credits and then advance the off-world is the play. Depressingly, I think it's unlikely we're going to be able to afford to res the Arella. Because they should challenge. Yeah, they do. I mean, they... Oh, this is interesting. Can we still res this Anansi? No. But if we res the Vampire Nasa, no. We just let them through here. See a spin, they trash a spin, that's fine. We're kind of absolutely fine. We've got like good recursion targets with this spin now. They picked server 1 for Bankar. Oh, interesting. I wonder if that was on purpose. Oh, we're actually going to get an Arella fire. Draw a Charlotte. One time, draw a Charlotte. Draw a Charlotte. No. Okay, so we score this, and then what do we get down? We probably just get this Sentan on R&D to not lose there. Like, this is where we should, like, play Mess Nachesvo. Not that we're going to do that. Off-world, gain money, Sentan goes R&D. They think HQ is a Nancy. No, no, because they would have died to it if it was a Nancy, I think. Unless they have like a ton of agendas. Not agendas, a ton of steel skins in hand, or at least one. Also, sometimes people just forget about a Nancy being a thing. I'd love them to run it. Apart from anything, so it's rezzed. Well, it seems like breakers. I mean, we're gonna assume that there's probably crews in here somewhere. 2 missed bones. I'm not challenging this spin yet. We're quite happy to just leave these guys hanging out in archives right now. This is probably... Oh... are you sure? This is, like, very much death. So I'm just going to give them a chance. Okay, this is Turbine because of the bones. I don't know. Like, I've seen... Like, crew decks basically can afford to spend their money on anything, but it's usually blue. Right, we see, like, Copulation or Bones. If a Sentry fries me, a Sentry fries me, and I accept sacrifice. As you wish. I mean, they've got steel skins, but I think this will still kill them. Oh, I wonder where that echelon came from. I assume it came from the draw, because otherwise you'd just install it, wouldn't you? Okay, quick game's a good game. Oh yeah, I should have asked it as are you sure? Corp. Bam. Okay, well we got an Arella fire, so that's good. That's what we wanted. This time we're going to get a really relevant one though. We're going to get an Arella fire into a Charlotte, into another agenda, score out back throw with a seamless, and it's all going to happen by like turn 7. I feel it, feeling it. True usually spent their influence on Turtle. Well, some of it. They definitely spend like 2 influence on Turtle. That was the main thing which true. But I think even Turbine decks, you played a crew or 2, right? Surely. Very few things in the world make you feel stupider than an are you sure from your deck? Oh, shit. Is that bad of me then? Like, we've won every game where Arella has fired. Haven't we just won every game? Did we win every game tonight? I think we did all right. Yeah. Did we lose the first one? I genuinely can't remember. I think my reason for saying "Are you sure?" is more just like to make sure that they hadn't misclicked on the wrong server, right? Like, I was expecting them to dirty laundry with a bin there. Because you also don't really need to get rid of the Arella at that point. It's not doing anything. It's not doing anything until we score again. And for what it's worth, with it being an Arella deck, we should be on the 2-1. Because it's like so much gas. And in fact, someone quickly give me the cut. If we can cut 1 card, then we can cut one of the Bacterials and play 2 copies of the 2-1 instead, because it's really good in Ag Infusion. We can get back like one of our face down ice, or like something which we've sold to Void or that we've trashed with whatchamacallit. But I need a cut. Yeah, deck's not called Agrella. It's called the RockArella Skank. Yeah, Post-Truth. I want to put in 2 copies of Post-Truth instead of the 3rd Bacterial. But I need to cut something, and it's probably 1 ice. 1 Lacosta? No. Can't, like, absolutely not. Warlock inbound. Playing Sable, potentially dangerous. 1 Enigma. Yeah, it's like potentially that, but I quite like the like 17 ice feels quite nice, but probably correct. I think we keep this. We've got Arella in the opening hand, so I think we keep it for that exact reason. Now, the big question is, what do we put on HQ against Sable? Bran is actually not particularly great on HQ versus Sable. We can draw one here and then we can hedge, and it's probably the Anansi on HQ. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. It's fine. Only cut would be one. Yeah, I think I've already read that, but yeah, you could definitely play like 2 post-truth because like it's actually really sick with Arella. Okay, with lots of cards in hand, is Warlock more or less likely to run first click next turn? A third hand's eye review. Wild. Because I'm really tempted to go like Charlotte, Advanced Charlotte, play Bran, but then there's no ice in archives to like, or even in HQ to pull with the first Bran sub. So I think Bran's quite bad right now. So I'm going to draw one. Oof. We might play like all these hands eyes. We might play hands eye Charlotte, hands eye the other hands eye. Like it's money. Arella is not getting bid into hands eye. No chance. This is worth more than like the second hands eye. The third one. No chance. I'm gonna force Warlock to cut one off for, or you cut one off for one hybrid release. The thing is that so okay, well, Warlock can break a. Oh, this is awkward. Okay, well, this is still happening. We are drawing very little ice here, considering we have 17. The problem with cutting one off of one hybrid release is that it makes the agenda suite worst score, because the only way then, or the more likely way, like if you're playing if you're playing hybrid release, then your agenda scores goes either 2-pointer, 2-pointer, 3-pointer, or it goes 2-pointer, 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 1-pointer. And so you actually want more 2-pointers than 3-pointers, because the 3-pointers is only relevant in one of those scoring patterns. Okay, Tattoo is like okay, but actually kind of bad against Kurapira. So I think it's draw once. Enigma is much better. Although we're going to get like knifed or dived or something. We need to score this Nisei like kind of stat. But I want at least one more piece of ice first. So this can go on server 1 and we'll advance. Oh, no, don't derez. And then maybe next turn, clicked the wrong clicky button. And then next turn we can go install advanced Arella with the Nisei. Because I think we're okay for money right now. I say that, like, we can... Ooh. Well... I wonder if we... No, because he's got Chesma credits. I was going to say, I wonder if we just cost Warlock the money. Okay, we're going to get, like, a good Arella turn here. Oh, Seamless is, like, really quite sick. We've got, like, a good part of our combo now. So we'll just go... The other option is just to install both of these and then use the Seamless next turn. No, I think this remote is good enough. I think it's fine. I guess it's like bad if a Hermes comes down. Okay, we can res here. I think we probably should res. It's 4 credits, it's 2 real credits, it's free revolver counters. We could get doofed. Running the mark for a click and some money. Getting down Shibboleth. Okay, we can break everything. Currently getting through Enigma pretty well. But once we're at Fret, get through Enigma for 4 credits, which is funny. It was funny to me. Okay, Void is good. So we could do... I think Seamless is not worth it, so we're just going to score Venise, use the Arella to get the Rashida in the remote. Oh. We can exactly res both these pieces of ice if we need to. The maths of Kurapira getting through a brand is about, it costs about 8, I think. So that's kind of good for us. Sure. And undo the draw. Yeah. Bottoming the other one. Who knows what it is? Going jailbreak. That's aggressive. Seems good though, like free jailbreak. That is swift. Okay, so at least we don't have to worry about Hermes. Second Nisei is potentially really good. I think we go Nisei Void, and then we get something somewhere. Nisei counter and Void is probably enough for the server. Next time we'll just seamless it out. So we'll go Nisei. We'll go Void. We've also got a Charlotte in hand, which means that that's going into the remote as soon as we scored. And then we either get a Tattoo, which does come with its own risks. Because it means that Warlock can charge up the Kurapira. But I think it's probably the better option, just so that we've got a bit more money. What's the chance that Warlock has a deep dive already? Hopefully not too much. These Enigmas get better next turn, which is great. Okay, we get the ultimate fire. Hello, Supernaut, how are you doing? So this feels pretty good. So we're gonna go advance, seamless, this bad boy. Score, second Nisei, get Charlotte in the server. Let's go. We can now even res this Enigma. Like, Warlock, I mean, I guess if Warlock knows that we're on only one Seamless, then they technically don't have to challenge this unless this is a Lacosta, in which case, like, you do have to challenge it. It's very funny. Okay, that is a problem. There's a chance that we Void on HQ here. I think we might do Void HQ. We also might put second Anansi out. Because Revolver runs out of counters soon. Or will run out of counters soon. So I think we put Anansi on Archives as a surprise. We'll do Anansi on Archives. We'll advance this and take a credit, which feels a little bit slow, but I also don't want to overextend. I do want to be able to res this Anansi and still somewhat protect the remote. We have 2 Nisei counters, yeah, but like if we can't just use them like willy-nilly, if you like. Here we'll res because this Revolver becomes a problem. Do we worry about HQ? Not massively, because I think this Anansi is actually doing pretty good work here. Unfortunately, Warlock obviously gets the click back from running Archives, but now can't run without being booped. Oh, has a Carmen as well. Okay. Well, at least these are still expensive. They're 5 to break, right? So we might now put a Void somewhere. We kind of want to just score the Bacterial. I don't know if I want to score this off-world. Unless we tried to score it this turn. We get an Arella trigger. Let's find a Bacterial. We found a Bacterial. Now what do we do with the Bacterial? We get the Lacosta in here. And then we take a credit. We could get... We might need to protect against Doof. I'm also a bit worried about just multi-access, like HQ multi-access. So the other option is we put the Void on R&D, and then we can like discard our agendas with it, which I think is relevant. I'm unsure about this, but this like is a potential play. Like, we haven't resed this one in the server yet. Shit, we didn't have... No, it's fine. We've got a Lacosta, as much as that's expensive. Okay. That is a lot of cards. Lacosta goes on Charlotte. We'll do this. Whoa, that's a lot of agendas. Can we push for Bacterial this turn? We have Enigma. We've got a Bran. And we've got a Void. I think we unfortunately need a few more credits. So the other option is to go for like 4-2 into 4-2 and do it with the off-worlds. Like, we go advance the Charlotte, crack the Charlotte, install a Nisei, install an off-world, like credit, or put a piece of ice somewhere. How much is the remote? Reasonably expensive, but also we have to res this brand to make it expensive. Maybe we do go to score like off-world into off-world here, rather than trying to get this Bacterial. We would have then got 3 Arella triggers if it happens. So if we advance the Charlotte and crack it, that's 3 credits. But we've advanced it once. So that's +2, essentially. We click for 2. We'll be at 12. We install an off-world. We're possibly doing that, but Funnily enough, the Enigma's actually quite expensive for them. Like, expensive enough, but I might not just use it as a boop. I'm also a little worried about this Lucky Charm. Which means that we might have to void them from HQ, or like Nisei counter them. They'll have like Carpe Diems next to them. They've got like a ton of cards in hand, so there'll be a bravado, so they can run our HQ like pretty cheaply. So we can click for 2. Or we could just like click for 3 and we can go for the push next turn. Yeah, it does still need a run on HQ. But like, it's powerful enough. We then have to like use a Nisei counter and a void to deal with it. So the other option is, or we put something on HQ. I think what we do is we go advance at game 3, we push an off-world, and then we put a piece of ice somewhere. Or yeah, we just do the bacterial here and we advance once. We do have a lot. The problem is, Sable has so many clicks. If Sable rolls HQ next turn, like, how boned are we? Maybe we can just win next turn. Throwing out 1 Nisei. Yeah. We can always like shuffle back for Seamless in the hope of drawing a single Seamless if we feel like we might be short either a click or a credit. Bran is 6. Enigma is 3. So we could either res both of these, or we res Bran and we can still void. Score off twice. Yeah, so like if they do run through this, and they run through this a lot. Right, so the big question here is, do we void or Nisei them after this run? Because then they have to run back again to fire off this Lucky Charm. Like, to be fair, they could just go through via Nancy. I think we either void or Nisei them here. We possibly use 1 Nisei counter. Then they need to get back through, which is 5 credits. I want to stop this Lucky Charm being an issue. And it's actually better, I think it's better for us to stop it here. We still have 2 end runs. Maybe using the void there was better, but if they run back, then I'm going to use the void. They'll then be down to 5 credits. The Marker's Archives, it's not HQ, which is really good for us. They do have Swift, which is a bit scary. So we'll do... Can we afford to do this? This will put us down 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think we are short of credit. I want to say, yeah, like, I'm saving this other Nisei for remote. Importantly. But, like, I quite like the idea of just, like, if we let them into HQ, then the Lucky Charm fires, which means we lose our Nisei anyway. So we kind of might as well use the Nisei on HQ, because otherwise it's irrelevant. Now, if they could still get in and have enough money, yeah, we probably don't need to res the ice, because we've got a boop and we've got a void and we've got a Nisei, which is plenty. So here we boop them into archives. The big question is, which of these ice do we use to boop? If we use the Bran, I think we boop with the Bran, because I think the Enigma is still kind of good enough. It still costs them 4 credits. And then we can still score out the Bacterial. They can't use this, right? Because they haven't made a successful run on HQ. Archives is the mark. So maybe, like, taking cards out of their hand kind of means nothing. I think it's actually server 2. I think I boop them to server 2. And I think I boop them with the Bran. We still have a Nisei, so we're still safe from Pinhole. Here, we res an Enigma, which they can't break. Just good enough. And we still had 2 ways of ending the run. I think this is enough. They can technically break 1 sub. And then we can Nisei and we definitely win next turn. Sick. And we get an Arella on our scoring turn, taking Warlock right down to 0 credits. Oh, we drew the Nisei back again. Don't boop into archives. Yeah, not booping into archives. Like I possibly just boop into R&D there. But the spin seemed like good enough option. That was cool. We've like won every game with this deck. I think. I can't remember how the first game went, so someone can correct me there. But Arella's sick. Like we got a ton of tempo off the Arella there. Yeah, like this is Ag like going fast or going as fast as it can. I think like the cheaper ice helps. Enigma's like kind of good enough, especially in a deck which wants to like tax clicks. Next week maybe we play like Enigma Zato Grid. Oh, if we play Zato Grid in Agvo, we can't play Lacosta, and Lacosta's just too good right now. It's a bit of a problem. That was a ton of fun though. That was good. I liked that. Um, Maybe I'll bring it to the CBI. Who knows? What you're all playing at CBI? If you could all just like DM me your private lists of exactly what you're playing, that would really help me out in terms of working out what I should be playing, because I still don't really know. I might not even be playing Arizona, which is kind of wild. I've like been tossing up between various different Arizona builds, and I'm unsure about all of them, or can't decide more specifically. But that was a lot of fun. Thank you everyone for hanging out in chat. If you're playing in the CBI, which is this coming weekend, right? It's on the 18th. Then, oh, Warlock missed the boop into spin. Yeah, I did nearly boop you into archives, which would have got you a click back, and like you had enough cards in hand that you don't really care about the Anansi fire. I think we had enough, like, to tax you out for even more. My next tournament is London Regional. Meteor, I will be at London Regional, I think. I'm pretty sure I will be at London Regional. So I will get to meet you in person, which I don't think I've met you in person before. I'm unsure. Taking Bancast Steve, but without Blue Cleaver. They call it Blue Cleaver. Playing a Sensible Breaker instead. But yeah, well, hopefully I will be at London Regional, and if so, then please do come up and say hi, because it would be great to meet you in person. Other than that, good luck if you're playing this weekend. Have some good fun games, and I'll see you on the flip side when I'll talk about what dumbass decks I decided to take. Thanks everyone. Ciao for now.